I hear you in the background whenever I phone.
Greetings, Nut Army. It is fight week, pay-per-view week. Excuse me. UFC 321, Aspinall versus Gane. We got a really stacked card coming up. Pretty excited this weekend. We got a really. I think the co-main is actually being slept on a bit. Dern versus Jandiroba 1 was actually a pretty decent women's fight, and I think we're in for a scrap. This card's got a lot of underdogs that I'm going to be picking. There's a few I'm surprised they are underdogs. There's some odds that I think are a little odd. But yeah, let's get into it. We got Jacqueline Amorium versus Mizuki. Mizuki has not fought in a long time. It has been 2023. I think she picked up a win. I don't know. I'm just going to be taking the favorite here in Jacqueline. I haven't really watched her too much, but I think she's kind of just... You know how I feel about I'm not the type to call myself a casual, obviously. I've been watching this sport for about a decade out of the 2 decades of my life. But I don't know. Not a lot to say. Just with women's MMA, with unranked women's MMA, just go with the favorite. I mean, there's not much else to say. I don't have a lot of input on this fight. It's two kind of just mediocre, unranked women's fighters that are probably never going to get ranked. It's just like, I don't know. But now we got Azat Maxim versus Mitch Raposo next. Mitch Raposo looked like just horrible his last fight. I picked him his last fight too, versus Sumer Adaji. I think he landed 8 strikes. He lost me money that card too. I expected him to land over fucking eight strikes. And I think he landed 8 or 9 strikes in 3 rounds last time. He would do these like Marab type of takedowns but it's disrespectful to compare that to Marab. He would just fucking grab him, do a little knee to the thigh, take him down, no ground and pound. Ref had to separate him multiple times, and he lost a split decision. I think Mitch Raposo is absolutely awful. I'm going to be taking Azat Maxim here. Undefeated, I believe. 2 losses. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Azat Maxim's a pretty big favorite here. I see why. He's well-rounded. Coming off a pretty good KO, if I'm not mistaken. Unless I'm mistaken him for another Kazakhstan guy. Yeah, I'm gonna take Azat Maxim here. These for the most part, these Kazakhstan fighters are pretty good. Besides that Nikolay Veretikov, he's pretty trash. But a lot of these Kazakhstan fighters are really well-rounded fighters. I don't see a lot of them losing unless you get busted for steroids, like the fella who popped against Charles Johnson. I don't remember. It's not Almabayev. It's the other flyweight Kazakhstan guy. But I'm going to take Azat Maxim here. I think he's just going to be able to control a fight. I forgot to do, I did this last time. I forgot to do the ways to finish. We're going to go Jacqueline by decision. And we're going to go, I'm going to take Azat Maxim by round 2 submission. I think Mitch is going to survive the first. That'd be kind of a close first. I think Azat's going to drop him. And then maybe he'll get us back at scramble. That fight's not bad. I don't enjoy Mitch Raposo very much. I think he's kind of a terrible fighter. So yeah. All right. Got this one. This is kind of a blob fest here. We got Hamdi Abdelwahab, I think. Abdelwahab versus Chris Barnett. Never in a million years did I think I would be picking someone to win after losing to Muhammad Usman, which, by the way, fuck that guy. Steroid cheat. I wonder why. Don't look into Muhammad Usman and Kamaru Usman's father, what he's kind of known for. But I am going to pick him over Barnett. I think he's just going to smudge Barnett. Chris Barnett lost to Kennedy Nesachukwu. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Kennedy, you know, African Kennedy, Kennedy News Chukwu. He, I like Chris. It hurts me to say this, 'cause I like Chris. I talked with him on his Instagram live. He's a really nice guy. He's been through some shit. I don't like picking against him because I always root for Chris Barnett. I think he's a nice guy, but I don't think he's very good. His last fight, he shredded his leg from jumping 5 inches in the fucking. He literally just hopped, and then he like busted his ACL and MCL, and he's been out for a minute. I think he's been out almost a year now. I don't expect him to win this. Both these guys could really cut down a few weight classes. Chris Barnett, I'm 5'7", and I used to be 268 pounds. I was a big guy. I get it, but I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional athlete, and I wasn't a professional athlete. So I get being a short guy and being fat, but this guy is a professional. He's a professional MMA fighter in the Ultimate Fighting competition. Or championship rather. Excuse me. Now I sound like a casual. But Chris Barnett is a professional athlete in the UFC, right? This is supposed to be the top level of MMA. He is 5'9", 265 pounds. He's one of only 3 heavyweights, I believe, to miss weight. I gave him a little bit of leeway there because he was fighting very shortly after his fiance passed away. That's sad, and I get it. I've gone through some loss myself. But I don't trust someone like Chris Barnett. His frame is that of like a lightweight or a welterweight, but for some reason we're floating around at heavyweight, man. It's like Dawkins. Was it Chris Dawkins? There's a heavyweight who used to be a middleweight and he just got fat. I just don't get how fighters are so nutritionally like just poor. Like they're just poor nutritionally minded fighters. I don't get that when you have the UFC PI. You get a lot of help. They give you plans to suit your body type and where you need to be. So I would like to see both these guys move down. I think Hamdi could be I think he could be a light heavyweight, and I think Barnett could be a welterweight or a lightweight, but we're not going to see that anytime soon. Anyways, Hamdi by decision. I think it's going to be 29-29, 29-28, 29-28, 30-27. It's not going to be anything too special in my opinion. I think it'll just be kind of, early prelims in Abu Dhabi. Even if it's a close decision, they're going to favor Hamdi here, I think. But, yeah. So up next, we got Nathaniel Wood versus Jose Delgado. Nathaniel Wood is an underdog. He thrives here, in my opinion. He's been an underdog. He's made me a lot of money before. I'm a little surprised to see him as an underdog here. 21-6 versus 10-1. He has double the experience that Jose Delgado has. Jose Delgado is an extremely dangerous opponent. He knocked out. I picked Hyder Emil against him. I picked Hyder Emil to keep his 0 from him, and then Jose Delgado took away Hyder Emil's 0 in 3 minutes or whatever it was. Nasty knockout. And I do get a little worried because Nathaniel Wood does lay off the gas sometimes, and I can't see this potentially being like a decision for Delgado. Nathaniel maybe has a close first round, wins the second round, wins the third round, but then gets dropped or gets wobbled and ends up losing the third round. I am going to take Nathaniel Wood here, though. I think this is great underdog money right here. Plus 150 underdog as of right now. This will be a good fight. I like Nathaniel Wood. I think he's decent. He's not like my favorite, and he's not really like a prospect anymore. But yeah, now we got Walter Walker versus Louis Sutherland, the Vanilla Gorilla. That was my nickname in high school. Not really, but I'm gonna take Walter Walker here. Oh, and by the way, Nathaniel Wood by decision. I'm taking Walter Walker here. Walter's been looking good. I just worry. Louis I keep on going on like different topics each time. It's a little funny. I keep on getting off track here. Louis is decent. I've seen some of his regional fights, but he was definitely on the sauce back then, and I don't think he is anymore. Just looking at the physique, like the physique difference is apparent. I'm gonna take Walter here. Walter's got great finishing ability. 3 heel hooks in a row now that's so impressive. That is unheard of in MMA, at least like professional MMA. I can see Louis potentially. This is heavyweight. Anyone can chin anyone, but Walter is a -400 favorite. I did pick Walter against Kennedy Nzechukwu, or not. Excuse me. I did pick Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Walter, and then he heel hooked him. Kennedy is a good fighter too. I'd say he's one of the more athletic heavyweights. So we're gonna take Walter Walker by heel hook. You're gonna get that 4th heel hook in a row. I believe it. I believe in Walter to do it. But yeah, I don't think this one's gonna be too long of a fight. I can go round 2 heel hook maybe. I think maybe Louis will get out the first round. But Walter is a really good finisher. He's really solid at finishing fights. Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi versus Mateus Camilo. I kind of had a hard time with this one. They're both even odds, and both these guys are making like their actual like UFC debut. Abdul has 2 Dana White Contender Series fights, I believe. Or maybe that's Mateus. So yeah, I just checked. Excuse me for. I really should be doing a bit more of my research for these lower level guys before the fights. I just don't. I make a lot of these videos on the fly. I'm a busy guy, believe it or not. I do touch grass and I do fail classes in college. Not funny. I am miserable. But yeah, it was Abdul Karim who has 2 Dana White Contender Series fights. It's a little funny to me because he actually won his first one against George Hardwick, Cage Warriors champion. I have a hard time like rating Cage Warriors champions and shit nowadays because we just saw his brother Harry Hardwick get leg kick KO'd by Cal Fernandez, who I was picking Cal Fernandez to win that fight against Fares Ziam. Or it was it Fares Ziam or was it? Yeah, it was Fares Ziam. It wasn't Manuel Torres. But I picked him. I was going to pick Cal either way. I think Cal is one of the most underrated lightweights, more or less prospects under the roster. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi. I think he's going to get, if it's a close decision, which I think it's going to be, I think he's going to be favored that. It's Abu Dhabi. Last year we saw one of these worst robberies I think I've been around to see in Renat Fakhretdinov versus Carlos Leal. That fight is why I rate Renat so low, because he got his ass kicked by Carlos Leal, and Carlos Leal just got like flatline KO'd by Muslim Salikov in like a minute. So I don't think Renat's very good, and I think Renat got fucking blocked by Carlos and Abu Dhabi, and they gave it to Renat. That wasn't even close. So with fights like that, I am going to go ahead and take Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi by split decision. We'll say split decision. But yeah. Anyways, Ikram Alsker, or excuse me, I got ahead of myself. Ludovic Klein versus Mateusz Rebecki. I am shocked Mateusz is not a bigger underdog. Mateusz has taken a lot of damage this last year. Literally in one of the most brutal wars in UFC history against Miktovic Orlbai. That fight was so brutal. That took years off both their lives. And then he just fought Chris Duncan. And I picked him against Chris Duncan. Wrongfully so. Just got brutalized in that fight too. I think Ludovic Klein is going to just snipe him from a distance. I don't think Mateusz is going to go down that easy. So I think it's going to be a unanimous decision or a late TKO by Klein. But I'm not trusting Mateusz Rebecki's amount of damage he's taken in this last year. He has taken a lot. I don't trust that against Ludovic Klein, who did just lose himself to game rot. But Gamrot's not really known for inflicting a lot of damage. So, yeah, I'm going to take Ludovic Klein by a late finish to a decision, a unanimous decision. Now, Ikram Aliskerov versus Jung Park, the Iron Turtle. Ikram just called out Kamzat, and Kamzat kind of laughed and like, dude, no. Ikram did lose to Kamzat in regional scene, got knocked out. Did well before that, but excuse me. Did well before that. But then got like, I think it was a pretty much a flatline KO. Kamzat hit him with an uppercut or some shit like that. And I don't see Jung Park winning this fight. Ikram is finally ranked. He's number 15. Just kind of snuck in there off a technicality. Jung Park is pretty durable. Never take that from him. I mean, shit, his last fight, he got fouled so many times, kept going. He could have just taken the win. I think that would have been a win, too, with how many times he'd been fouled. I'm going to take Ikram by round 2 TKO. I think he's just a crisper striker. I don't think Jung Park's got a lot of power. Which, I mean, you don't need a lot to knock out Ikram, because Ikram got knocked the fuck out by Robert Whitaker. Short notice or not, that doesn't affect your chin. It doesn't. I guess it kind of does. Makes your weight cut quicker. But I don't totally trust Ikram's chin. But I'm going to take him to win this one. I think this is not a layup, but I think it was supposed to be kind of a stylistically favorable matchup for Ikram. It's Abu Dhabi. He's going to have the home crowd behind him. I'm going to take Ikram here. Nasrat Hakparast, versus Quinlan Salkield. I am rooting for Quinlan any day of the week. He's liked some of my Instagram posts. He is fucking funny. But I'm going to take Nasrat here. Nasrat is on a robbery streak, though. He could arguably, excuse me. Holy fuck, I cannot talk sometimes. He could arguably be on a 2-fight losing streak. I thought both of his last split decision victories, I thought he lost both of them. I thought he lost to Jared Gordon. I thought he lost to Esteban Ribix. But regardless, he does have a lot of experience. 18-5, I believe. 15-5. Shut up! But Nasrat does have a significant amount of experience over Quinlan. And Quinlan did show some kind of scary, not premonitions, but scary flaws in his last fight against the Jew. Oh, look at that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you. You were just barking. Hold on. You want to say hi?
Say hi. Say hi. Say hi, camera. Say hi.
Excuse me. Are we not going to bark anymore? Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna bark.
Don't lick. Get down. I don't know how she got in here. Where was I? Get out. Hey, get out. Get out. Hey, no. Out. Out. Hey, get out. Get out! On with you! Oh, now you're smiling at me. I guess you can stay. Stay down, though. Stay down. I kind of forgot where I was at. Nasrat does have a lot of experience. Even if he took those losses against Esteban and Jared Gordon, those are really not bad losses to take. If Quinlan does win this one, I'll be really happy. I love Quinlan Salkield. I think he's a very fun lightweight prospect. I think he has the owner of like the 3rd quickest lightweight knockout of all time. Something like that against the Anshul Jubilee. But I'm going to take Nasrat's experience here. I think he's a very good boxer. Takedown defense is decent, and Quinlan is a good grappler. So yeah, I'm going to take Nasrat Hakparast. I can never pronounce it. His name's so strange. I'm taking Nasrat by... forgive me, my phone fucking died on me. Taking Nasrat by decision, I think. I'm going to do a 29-28, 30-27, 30-27. I think he'll just be able to keep it on the feet and kind of just outbox Quinlan. I think it'll be a good loss for Quinlan to take. He's still super young in his career, only 9-1. I'm not gonna be too keen on it if he does lose. I think this will be a good fight. It is even odds, and yeah, I'm excited for this one. Alexander Ratchik versus Azamat Murzakanov. Odds are close to even. I'm going to take Azamat Murzakanov. I see people taking Alexander Ratchik simply based off his previous performances. And while he does make it close with good fighters, he doesn't win a lot of those fights. He doesn't have like that. He's got power, but like he doesn't like use it, if that makes sense. He did get pretty close to not pretty close, but he did rock Yuri a few times, just shredded up his legs. And then Yuri's one of my favorite fighters of all time. So Yuri just turned on retard mode and went forward, charged like a fucking sped kid after an ice cream truck, and knocked out Ratchik. I think Azamat to be able to close the distance. Ratchik is huge. He could be a heavyweight for sure. But I think Azamat will be able to close the distance, and I do feel like he'll be able to get Ratchik on the ground where he wants him. Azamat does have pretty good combat sambo experience. I hate Azamat's activity though. He is so inactive, and so he's hard to pick because it's like, are we gonna get a lesser version or a more like a better version of Azamat? We don't really know because there's not as much film to go off of. He's got like 15 professional fights in 14 years. I would like to see his activity increase. But I'm going to take Azamat by a 29-28 all-around decision, I think. I'll go do an Azamat versus via 29-28. I can see this fight going the other way. I can't totally see a world where Ratchik kind of just point fights his way through the fight, keeps him at a distance. But I think with one of those flicky kicks, Azamat can close the distance as Ratchik is kicking. This will be a good fight for sure. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for this card. This is a really solid card. I saw some fucking moron on TikTok bitch about this card. I'm like, I don't like throwing around the casual word because I think in a sense everyone can be a bit of a casual sometimes, which is totally okay. But like when you're shitting out of a card like this, I feel like you just are kind of a fucking casual. Main event. I can't get too excited for Tom Aspinall fights because I just feel like I know what's gonna happen. Co-main here, I think, is getting a little bit overlooked. But there's a lot of great fights on the undercard. So, yeah, I mean, I do like this. I do like this card. I do like this fight for Azamat. Okay, this is the fight I'm having the hardest time with. I've thought about it all week, and I still don't really have a good answer. We got Jailton Almeida versus Alexander Volkov. Damn, this is a hard fight to pick because, and even the odds are showing that the odds Jailton used to be a 2-1 favorite, and he's gone down significantly. He's only sitting at 180, 190. God damn, it is. I don't know how to pick this because Volkov 100% beat Gane. But I think Almeida would have subbed Gane in like 3 minutes, probably 3 minutes to maybe the second round. Gosh, you were just a clinger. But Volkov is going to have like a striking advantage, clearly, but not like that significant of a one. Almeida did win his last fight from being on the feet. I think Almeida would do good against Aspinall too. This sucks because I'm rooting for Volkov. I think he has a path to victory 110%. I think if he uses his range, he uses those kicks, he uses his size, his presence in the octagon. He's a big guy. Tom said he's probably closer to 6'9". Gosh, look at this little thing. You're a clinger. Excuse me for getting distracted by the dog again. But with Volkov, it's like I just worry about the ground game. But I feel like if he uses his size, he can win this fight. But I feel like Almeida will get him to the ground, and I think Volkov was getting controlled on the ground by Gane, and I don't think Gane's a very good grappler. Gane got out wrestled by Ngannou for, what was it, 3 rounds or whatever. That fight's kind of a fever dream. I think we're going to roll with Almeida by round 3 submission. But this fight is the most. I think any fight in the card should be a pick'em, a 110 pick'em. I think it should be this fight. I think this fight is so 50-50. It really could go both ways. Like, I can visualize it almost. I can see the world where Volkov keeps it on the feet, uses his kicks at range, keeps Almeida up and not in his world. Volkov stays in Volkov's world. But I can just also see a world where Almeida gets Volkov to the ground and submits him. Maybe gets him to scramble and gets the back or something. Almeida's not great in like mount, but he is really good off the back, I feel like. So unfortunately, I'm going to pick Almeida by submission here in the 3rd round. I would say 3rd round. I can really see it go both ways, and it's a hard fight. It's a hard fight to pick. These two, in my opinion, these two are the highest. Like, this is like, I would have rather had one of these two fighting this weekend instead of Gane. Volkov 100%. I thought that fight against Gane for Volkov, I thought that was 110% Volkov's victory. I thought it was closer to 30-27 Volkov than it was a 29-28 Gane. That fucking scorecard is still like despicable to me. I cannot believe we live in a world where that judging is just so fucking abysmal. I don't think Volkov would have beat Tom. I think he would have made it more interesting. That fight also irks me too, for a personal reason. I picked Volkov to beat Gane in the rematch, and I felt so good. I literally said, I wasn't streaming at the time, but I said when I was watching, I was like, look at me fucking go. I just got this fucking, this plus 300 underdog pick correct. I feel great. And then they announced a split decision. I'm like, okay, certainly it's Alexander, isn't it? And then they called Gane's name, and I threw my fucking remote at my wall. I can show you some of the evidence. I broke the back of my damn remote off. So yeah, I am gonna take Jailton here. This is so unfair for Volkov. I think he should have gotten the title shot. This is just bad. Jailton's a hard matchup for anyone. I think Jailton would even give Tom some problems, but yeah. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Bautista. This is comparing poop the shit. I don't like either of these guys. I like Umar's fighting style, but I think he is a whiny bitch. Mario seems like a nice guy, but if you guys have been around Nutrock for a while on Instagram, you know my feelings on him. I'm not forgiving him. I used to be kind of I would get my ass kicked, but I used to I would DM him and say I wanted to fight him. That was a joke, obviously. I know. Don't take it seriously. You guys know I would get my ass kicked by Mario. I'm not going to forgive him for the Aldo performance. You guys know this. I've said it many times. If I forgive Mario, it's not me anymore. It's an imposter. It's like a skinwalker. That being said, my hatred of Mario hatred of Mario being there. These odds are disrespectful. Minus 750 for Umar. Umar should be at max a minus 300. Man, minus 750 is fucking bonkers. That's like, oh man. Don't get me wrong, I am picking Umar to win this fight. But minus 750 is nuts. Like, I don't think Umar is going to go out there and look like a minus 750 favorite. I think he's going to look like a minus 250 favorite. I think he's going to look good. I think Umar is clearly the better fighter, but he's not that much better than Mario. I think Mario's got a boxing advantage. Maybe not overall striking, but boxing for sure. Hell, if you want some good value on like a potential upset, I don't think it's going to happen with this being an Umar's territory, one can say. But Mario, this being a 3-rounder does favor Mario a little bit. I feel like Mario could pull off some bullshit. That being said, Mario's last win, first of all, he lost to Aldo. I'll stand on that. And his last win in Patchy Mix kind of aged bad with Jacob Wicklaux beating Patchy as well. I think we kind of realized Patchy Mix really isn't that good. I think some of us, including me, might have fallen for the hype. I'm not trusting a Bellator guy again. I think we should have known better with Chandler going in the UFC and going, 2-5, 2-6. I'm going to take Umar by a 30-27. I think he's got the better grappling. He's a better striker overall. Better kicks. Umar's got good kicks. This will be a good fight, despite me not liking either of these guys. But I am going to take Umar by decision pretty easily. Not easy as in the fight's going to be easy. I think it's going to be... Excuse me. I think both these... I think every round's going to be pretty close, but I think every round's going to be slightly in Umar's favor. So yeah, I'm going to take Umar here. Verna Jandiroba versus Mackenzie Dern. I am shocked that Verna is a underdog. I know they fought before and Verna lost. And they're both very different fighters since. Not stylistically, but just like skill level. I'm taking Verna Jandiroba here. I don't think Mackenzie Dern's all that great. She hasn't impressed me in any recent performances, and I think Verna has impressed me in her previous performances. I think she's really solid. Great grappler. She dominated Yao Xiaonan, Chinese gal who got submitted, decisioned, and knocked out by Wei Li in one fight. Yeah, I'm gonna take Jandiroba here. I think this is gonna be a decision. I'm a little worried though. I can smell a robbery. I commented in a TikTok comment section somewhere. I can just smell a split decision robbery for Mackenzie Dern a mile away. I could totally see this Verna winning round 1, 2, and 5, and then they just give it to Dern because she's hotter and she has a gigantic ass. There's nothing wrong with that, obviously, but the UFC. Let's be real, they have robbed people in the name of keeping the promotable hype train going. But pushing that aside, I think Verna is the right decision here. I think Verna is great underdog money. If you want to make a little bit of money, go toss a little bit of money on Verna Jandiroba. I think she'll be able to control Mackenzie Dern. I did have my friend Braden say that he can potentially see Mackenzie Dern keeping this on the feet where she has an advantage. I think she will keep it on the feet to an extent, but not enough to win. So yeah, I'm gonna take Verna Jandiroba as our next women's strawweight champion of the world. Now for the main event, I got Tom Aspinall versus Gane. I didn't think about this one too hard. I'm taking Tom Aspinall by round 1 or 2 submission. People are overlooking Gane a little bit because Gane is good. He's big. He's athletic. I think Tom's better in pretty much every way. Gane isn't knocking out people in one round. Gane isn't submitting people in one round. Gane is he's a very technical Not point striker, but because he has a lot of finishes himself, but he definitely he doesn't have that urgency to finish fights as much as Tom does. Tom likes to get in there. He likes to be aggressive. And I just don't see Gane getting a fluke KO or nothing. I don't. Pavlovich hit Tom clean on the chin in his initial interim title fight. And I mean, Tom ate it, and it's not like that's easy with Pavlovich. Albeit Pavlovich is not the same guy. The only guy we've seen eat shots from Pavlovich, no diddy, well, is Volkov, Tom, and Waldo Cortez Acosta, as much as I don't like saying that, because I don't like Waldo. But Tom took a really clean shot from Pavlovich and kind of just ate it. It woke him up a bit. And that was on short notice. Tom was on 2-3 weeks notice. I think Tom, with all this time he's taken off, with the camp he has around him. I know Gane has a Olympic wrestler training with him. That's not gonna be enough in my opinion. There's always something new with Gane, and I got a new training partner, guys. Not gonna get out grappled at all. Not my last 3 fights or whatever. I didn't get out grappled. So yeah, I like Tom in this one. I think Tom's gonna. I like Guru's take on a Kimura, because I do agree. I watched his video. Some people were saying that I base my opinions off Guru, but I've actually, a lot of the times, my opinions are way different than Guru's. Not that he's going to see this, but a lot of times I do make my video before Guru does, and I'll post my video. But I do in this instance, I do like Guru's take on how Tom's going to get the submission. I do think it's going to be a body lock to where he's in that side control position. I think he's potentially going to get a crucifix. I think he's going to get either a crucifix TKO, or he's going to get a Kimura or an Americana submission. I didn't think of that one too hard. I think I knew from the second this fight was announced that I was going to pick Tom. But yeah, that's it. We have a great card in store. It's going to kind of make up for some 2 slightly lesser, not high quality, because they're actually good events, but less known main events coming up. We got Bonfim versus Brown, and Onama versus Garcia coming up, which are great fights, but I think it's a little odd we're headlining with them. But yeah, let me know what you think I got wrong, what I got right, and yeah, thank you all for watching. Hopefully this video is a little better than last week. We were on a little bit of a hot streak to get consistent views. Last week I didn't do as well on views, but yeah, so thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later. Nut out.
I hear you in the background whenever